Aloha, and welcome to another edition of Living Authentically Out Loud. Today's topic, things aren't always what they seem, are they? Now, how many times have you found yourself in an uncomfortable circumstance only to find out later that it was a blessing in disguise? How many times have you actually failed to notice your surroundings and what's really going on around you, not only in your world, but everybody else's world? How many times have you failed to notice? I'm sure you could look back and say quite a few, and even in these ever-shifting times right now, it's even harder to be aware of those things. It's even harder to catch yourself when you're not doing well, right? Or you're feeling something is not going your way. So I've got a story that I really want to share with you here today. It's been a while since I've told a story. Some of you may have heard this story before, and some of you may have not. But I find it a great metaphor for life right now, and a really great way to express that things are not always what they seem. So here we go. Two traveling angels stopped to spend the night at a home of a wealthy family. The family was rude and refused to let the angels stay in the mansion's guest room. Instead, the angels were given a space in the cold basement. As they made their bed on the hard floor, the older angel saw a hole in the wall and repaired it. When the younger angel asked why, the older angel replied, "Things aren't always what they seem." The next night, the pair came to rest at a house of a very poor but hospitable farmer and his wife. After sharing what little food they had, the couple let the angels stay in their bed, where they could have a good night's rest. When the sun came up the next morning, the angels found the farmer and his wife in tears. Their only cow, whose milk had been their sole income, lay dead in the field. The younger angel was infuriated and asked the older angel, "How could you have let this happen? The first man had everything, and yet you helped him," she accused. "The second family had little, but was willing to share everything, and you let their cow die?" "Things aren't always as they seem," the older angel replied. "When we stayed in the basement of the mansion, I noticed there was gold stored in that hole in the wall. And since the owner was so obsessed with greed and unwilling to share his good fortune, I sealed the wall so we couldn't find it. Then last night, as we slept in the farmer's bed, the angel of death came for his wife. I told him to take the cow instead. Things aren't always what they seem." So short and sweet, but I find a very, very powerful message in that. How powerful is that? For things aren't always what they seem, and how many times in our life, once again, as I've stated, especially now in these ever-shifting times, have we misunderstood the message or had not gotten it right away, right? So like I said, with everything happening right now, with all the ups and downs that we are currently experiencing, I think it's important that we trust that every outcome is to our advantage. For everything happens for a reason, as I've stated before, even when things don't turn out the way we think they should, right? Because we may not realize it right away. But with time, things become much clearer. That is always the case. Really, think back in your life. Think back right now to what you're experiencing. Think back. I mean, so many people I know, including one of my great friends, you know, she once again was laid off with many people. Once again, that's happening right now. And not only laid off, but laid off 8 months pregnant. Now, initially, the shock of that, right, is overwhelming. Huge for her, her family, her husband, her baby. And she was unable to speak about it for quite some time. But after a week passed and after we had talked, it was amazing the clarity she had gotten. It was amazing now that not only does she not have to work and be able to heal and give birth to this beautiful baby, but she's getting paid the whole time through it, then is able to go back, finish off her last month, and like I said, you know, this is 6 months later where she's actually getting quite a bit of money, not having to work, be home for the baby, and everything looks a lot brighter, right? So once again, so many of us are going through so many things these days. And I think it's also important that, you know, not to be so focused on our own agenda. Because sometimes we are so consumed with our own feelings that we fail to see what others are going through right now, right? You never know the circumstances in someone else's life. So really, before you are quick to judge, think again, right? For things aren't always what they seem. We know that now. And I just think it's important to realize that it's not just us. We're not alone. Everyone's going through it right now. And things aren't always what they seem. So really, be mindful and sensitive to the needs of others right now, in this time, in this space. Help others get what they want, and in turn, you'll get what you want. Right? So, together, everyone achieves more. Remember that. Much love, light, and aloha. Until next time, please visit www.outloudproductions.tv, where we offer a safe place for you to live in your truth. See ya.